On today's Olympic preview, we reveal which athletes have made the cross-country, free ski and snowboard teams. Nick Baumgartner, like Lindsey Vonn, will tell you age is just a number. Now going to his 5th games, the gold medalist from Beijing is making his way from Michigan to Milan. Nearly 20 years his junior. Olympic snowboarding great on the halfpipe, Chloe Kim is looking for results from her medical team to get to her 3rd Winter Games. And joining us today, the GOAT of cross-country. We'll ask Jessie Diggins about the build-up to her 4th and final Olympics before she takes her glitter and dances off into retirement. Well, hello and welcome into this week's edition of the Stifel Snow Show. I'm Cara Banks, bringing you the latest and greatest in skiing and snowboarding from around the globe. And we are now just 2 weeks away from the opening ceremony for the Olympic Games in Italy, so momentum is building. And today we'll reveal a few of those teams who are headed to Milan Cortina. But first, let's check out the locations for some of the upcoming Olympic venues for the US ski and snowboard team. We love to say Livigno. The majestic Italian Alps will set the scene for snowboarding and free ski. And the fabulous Dolomites are the backdrop in Val di Fiemme for cross-country ski jumping and Nordic combined. Well, she is doing something almost unheard of in this discipline. That's leaving the sport on her own terms, at the very top. After another dominant World Cup season, the most decorated and accomplished American skier the sport has ever seen is heading to her 4th and final Olympic Winter Games. She didn't just change the record book, she forever impacted what the cross-country community believed was possible. Grit, joy, and relentless excellence defined her era. Now, as she prepares to take one last Olympic lap, it's about honoring a career that reshaped a sport and inspired a generation. Jessie Diggins is our Stifel Star of the Week. And here she is. Jessie, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Goms in Switzerland for the final stop before the Olympics come around. We have got so much to get to. First of all, I have to ask you, having been part of the US ski team since 2011, how then did you decide that this, year 15, would be the right time to call it your final season?
Yeah, I've just been so lucky to get to do this sport for so long. And I'm filled with an immense amount of gratitude for the people that have been a part of my journey. But at some point, when you're 19 years old and fresh on the ski team, skiing is like here and you're willing to do anything. And the rest of your life is here, and it doesn't feel like that big of a sacrifice. And at some point, those scales kind of start to tip, and you start to realize, there are other things in my life that I'm really ready for and excited for. And I've been making a lot of sacrifices to be in this sport for quite a long time, and I still love it. And I'm always going to love all the people in the sport. That's going to be the hard part. But I'm just so excited and ready for all the other things in my life.
Knowing that this is your last time at every event this season, how on earth have your emotions been on what is almost like a farewell tour for you?
It's honestly been so cool and so special. I shared with everyone that this was going to be my final season before the start, and being able to connect with people. I've met fans who were like, I planned this entire trip to Germany to see you in your last race, and thank you for inspiring me the last 15 years. And in Ruka, Finland, at the start of the season, there's this whole group of guys chanting last time up the hill, and it was really cool. It feels like the whole world is kind of in on it with me. We're celebrating this final season too, and I think it's made it even more filled with love and gratitude.
Now, how much do you think you've then changed as an athlete since you debuted as an Olympian age 22 in 2014?
Oh, I've changed a lot. I still have the same raw energy and enthusiasm and joy and sparkle, but I think I've really changed in terms of what I bring every time I race. And so, of course, I've really found my footing in terms of helping to lead the team. But more importantly, I've learned how to become an advocate off the snow and how to identify these causes that are so important to me and make sure that every time I'm racing, it's for something so much more than just scoring points winning races. I'm really trying to further these causes that I care about.
Okay, so you've spoken about all the causes that you are so proud to be an advocate of. So tell us about them. What is it that keeps you going when you get out of bed and you're not putting those skis on right now?
Yeah. Well, so I had an eating disorder when I was 18 years old and then a relapse a couple years ago. And so I'm an ambassador for the Emily program and talking about the importance of mental health and the importance of really taking that leap to reach out and ask for professional help has been huge for me because I want to try to get that sort of taboo subject out in the open. I want to make it okay for people to talk about it so that they can get the help that they need. And I also sit on the board of Protect Our Winters. So climate change is something that is deeply affecting our sport, but also just all of our lives around the globe. And so working with them has made it so meaningful every time I race. And then last but not least, the Share Winter Foundation does an amazing job getting kids from different parts of the country out onto the slopes to either alpine ski, cross country ski, or snowboard. And so it's just amazing seeing the work that they do and how it changes people's lives.
And I mean, it's already been so worth it. You look at your trophy cabinet so far, you've already got every colour Olympic medal, which is pretty cool. 3 World Cup overall titles, 7 World Championship medals. I mean, the list goes on, Jessie. But aside from all those accolades, what part of your career are you most proud of today?
I'm most proud of what I do off the snow. Yeah, it truly isn't the accolades. The Olympic medals live in a hat in the basement. I don't look at them because I want to wake up every single day and do something that makes me proud of who I am and what I'm bringing to the people around me. And the Olympic medals are not this hall pass for life. Yes, it was a really cool moment that I got to share with my team, but I want to do something today that makes the team better. And I want to work towards that. So I am really proud of who I am when I don't have a bib on. And I think that is important to hold close to my heart, especially as the lights get brighter and everyone focuses in on the race results.
I mean, you've said before that you've tried to become the advocate and role model that 18-year-old Jessie needed. So what message then would you share with the next generation of skiers watching you head into your final Olympics?
I mean, what I would tell the next generation is it is okay if you are not perfect. Just go out there and do the best that you can do every day. But if you need to ask for help, that does not make you weak. That makes you strong. Like the strongest people I have ever met are the people who are able to be vulnerable and to ask for help when they need it. And that's how we learn and that's how we grow. And so, I think there's this myth that really strong athletes don't need anything from anyone. And in fact, it's the opposite. The strongest athletes I've ever met have an incredible support team around them, and that is what makes us strong.
Thank you so much. You've inspired us all to put some glitter on and go smile at that start line. We are going to be cheering you on loudly in Italy. Best of luck.
Awesome. Thank you.
And we can now reveal a powerhouse cross-country lineup for our Xfinity Making the Team moment. Led, of course, by Jessie Diggins and Gus Schumacher, who earlier this season became the first US woman and man to win a World Cup on the very same day. Also, you see the name Sammy Smith. She makes her first ever Olympic team, a multi-sport athlete, by the way, who recently started for Stanford in their national title game for women's soccer. We'll be right back. Back now with news from the 2-time reigning Olympic champion in snowboard halfpipe, Chloe Kim. With 1 month to go before the Winter Olympics, the 25-year-old announced that she dislocated her shoulder during a training crash ahead of the Lux Open. Well, Kim took to what she referred to as the silliest fall while going up the side of the halfpipe, but it resulted in a torn labrum. The good news following an MRI was that it's not too severe and she will be able to defend her gold medal at the upcoming Games. Now, let's check in with Todd Harris and Todd Richards in Aspen for their perspective on some other Americans.
So day one of the Toyota U.S. Grand Prix comes to a conclusion in Aspen, Colorado. Todd Richards, what did we learn today that we didn't know going into this halfpipe competition at the start of the day?
Well, Alessandro Barbieri apparently has a triple cork that he can do whenever he wants to. Finding him on the podium, I'm not going to say it was a surprise, but I didn't have it on my bingo card. Also, Maddie Schaffer. She was the top finisher for the Americans on the women's side of things, and she's doing this crazy run that I think is really entertaining the judges, and that's kind of what you want to do, really.
All right, thanks to the Todds, Maddie Shafrick is definitely one to keep an eye on at these Winter Games, as is the other Maddie, keeping her Olympic vision very close to her. A bit of manifestation, if you will, from the travelling pants. Now for a little pocket watch and an iHeart Rewind with two-time Olympic snowboarder Maddie Mastro.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. We've got a lot of things on this piece of paper. I keep this in my pocket. It says 2026 Olympic winning run on it. It's just something that I like take from like pant to pant. I've gone to 2 Olympics now. One I got 12th place in, and then the next one I missed finals by 1 spot. It would be really nice to have a different outcome at this next Games. I have been manifesting it for a long time. Oh my gosh.
Maddie. Maddie who? Maddie Joe.
Those are like the best memories I have, and something I like tried to go back to constantly. That feeling I had as a kid where I just didn't want to stop snowboarding at all. Didn't matter how cold or how wet my gear was, I just loved snowboarding. To actually make it on the podium is something that would be pretty crazy. I don't really imagine myself there too much because I get a little fixated on that. So if and when I do end up on that podium, I don't know how I would process it all, but it would be really insane and surreal.
All right, time now for another Xfinity Making the Team moment, this time in snowboarding, and an amazing lineup for us to look forward to in big air, slopestyle and halfpipe events. This group are bringing all the eyes to snowboarding, which has now been an official Olympic sport since the 1998 Nagano Games. Like Maddie Shafrick, who we just heard about, who came back from a nearly 10-year layoff to make her first Olympic team. And also, it's going to be a bit of a homecoming for Alessandro Barbieri, as both of the 17-year-old's parents are from Milan, a tremendous team. Now for our Fast Facts, powered by iFit, Jess Perlmutter and Nick Baumgartner set to become the youngest and oldest US snowboarders to compete at the Olympics. Baumgartner and Faith Elan joined Shaun White, Lindsay Jacobellis and Kelly Clark as the only US snowboarders to compete at 5 Olympic Winter Games. And Chloe Kim, well, she looks to become the first halfpipe snowboarder to win 3 consecutive Olympic gold medals. Wow. The Stifel Snow Show is brought to you by the U.S. Army and 10th Mountain Division, proudly supporting the history of U.S. ski and snowboard. Be all you can be. Also sponsored by Lilly, health is never over. And Xfinity, proud partner of Team USA. And we're back with a twist. This time a preview of exciting free skiing. Once again, our Todd Harris, but this time joined by free ski legend Tom Wallish. This US team is a tricky one to make, but it seems Wallish is leaning into confidence with the sport's A team. Let's get the scoop now with our Stifel Spotlight.
So the Toyota U.S. Grand Prix comes to a conclusion here in Aspen, Colorado. Tom Wallish, if you live and die by Team USA, what's your heart rate at right now?
I mean, you are stressed, but you're happy. We have so much talent in the field. Watching slopestyle and halfpipe this weekend, just making Team USA is so tough, and that just goes to show the depth of the talent and means we're going to have a grade A, best team in the world going into Milan Cortina.
All right, how confident are you that the Americans can carry this momentum that they had all year long into Italy?
I think it's amazing. I think the pressure that we put on them, yes, it's a lot, but it is those reps, the pressure under competition. Mac Forehand winning in slopestyle. He's going to carry that win into a result in Milan. Same with Hunter Hess in second place at this event. Like, it is those reps, the pressure. These guys can handle the pressure. Look for them to handle it in Italy.
All right, before I let you go, because I know you're so smart because you went to the University of Utah, give me dark horses that you think might excel or might surprise some people when we get to Livigno.
Ooh, I mean, in slopestyle, we haven't seen a lot of Alex Hall. He's pre-qualified. He qualified through the rankings. Hasn't had a result this year, but keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him.
The Great Hall of China. You're already packed for Italy, right?
Yeah, I'm packed. I'm ready. Well, let's go.
All right, America, I'll keep an eye on Tom Wallish for you when we get there.
Yep, those two can't wait to get to Italy, and we're looking forward to seeing several compete in the Livigno Snow Park. So many dynamic personalities revealed now in our Xfinity Making the Team moment. The US men's freeski team has won 12 of 21 Olympic medals since 2014 Sochi, when the events were first added to the Winter Games. And this men's halfpipe team will be led by Nick Gepper and Alex Ferreira, who have a combined 5 Olympic medals, but both still looking to win that elusive gold. We'll be talking snowboard cross and more after the break. Well, last week we showed you what has to be the most epic home-built snowboard racetrack in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, courtesy of Nick Baumgartner. A lot of pride goes into everything this athlete does, both on and off snow. And he may be the oldest on the US snowboard cross team, but he's also defending the Olympic gold medal he won in mixed team snowboard cross in what was his 4th attempt in Beijing. He has got the outside strategic track from his home in Iron River to Milan Cortina. The affable Nick Baumgartner is our Xfinity athlete to watch.
Being from a small community, to most people, it gives them this conception that they can't dream big.
That didn't happen 4 years ago in Vancouver for Iron River, Michigan's Nick Baumgartner.
But it's important to not let where you came from hinder where you're going. Dreams don't work unless you do, and that's how I've lived my life for a long time. When I decided to make a run at the Olympics at 40 years old, there was definitely doubt, like, can I do this? Is it possible? I had to find a way to do it myself or it wasn't gonna happen. Iron River is a blue-collar town in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. There's struggles. There's a lot of struggles that a lot of people in the country don't see, and that gives us our grit. The Finnish people that inhabited here, they call it sisu. It's that tenacity, that perseverance, that never give up attitude. We have to fight for every opportunity. There's no one coming and giving us anything. All the kids I compete against are from the Rocky Mountains, the Swiss Alps, some of the biggest mountains in the world. And I'm from a 400-foot ski hill. One of the most annoying things I heard growing up was, you know what, you're pretty good for someone from the UP. Rather than believe what they had to say, I used it as fire. Tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna find a way and I'm gonna outwork everyone to prove you wrong. I realized that I needed to take this dream serious. I was 21 years old, 2 weeks away from moving to Colorado, and I found out I was gonna be a dad. Some of my first thoughts were, is this over? How am I gonna do this now? I can't chase this dream anymore. Professional snowboarding doesn't pay that well. I didn't come from money, I didn't come from the means to be able to do this. In order for me to be a professional snowboarder, I needed to fund that dream by pouring concrete, 12-hour days, 5 days a week, busting my butt, my back, killing my hands, just in order to have a chance. To me, it was about showing my son what's possible if you go out there and chase what you really want. I needed to make this work. I had to be successful. Failure was not an option. Without Landon coming into my life, I don't know that I ever would have accomplished what I have. After my first Olympics, I got this ring, and it was important for me to wear it every single day. It didn't matter if it had concrete stuck in it. It didn't matter what it looked like. It mattered what it meant, and it meant that I couldn't let up. When I'm home, I'm on that ski hill, logging those hours, because that's what it takes to be at the top level of a sport. Every time I failed at an Olympics, I was always like, next time.
Baumgartner will not make it through.
And as I got older, I was running out of next times. Thought that I might be wasting my life and look back on it one day and think, wow, what did I really accomplish? Boy, am I glad that I stuck around.
and the first ever medal for Nick Baumgartner, the 4-time Olympian.
I think the one thing that I have that's better than any Olympic athlete out there is my support system. If you're from a small community and you do something great, everyone will rally behind you, and they keep pushing you, and every time you have that little bit of doubt, they pick you back up. I'm almost 44 years old, and I don't see a stop coming. Is there doubt? Absolutely. My hands hurt, bad wrists. I get these things, but what if? I'm gonna continue to do this, and I'm gonna continue to have as much fun as I can, and I'm gonna redefine what's possible. I'm a Youper. I'm not going anywhere.
One to root for sure. And more dreams are coming true as Xfinity once again helps us reveal the US Snowboard Cross and Parallel Giant Slalom Olympic team. Faith Thielen returned to competition this season after taking a few years off to focus on family, and since Beijing gave birth to her son Theo and daughter Scarlett. Meanwhile, Cody Winters will become the first US athlete to compete in both snowboard cross and parallel giant slalom at the Winter Games. Congrats to that whole team. And what about the US men and women's ski jumping and Nordic combined team? Well, 19-year-old ski jumper Jason Colby makes his first Olympic team after having the best World Cup finish this season for a US man in over 20 years. Congratulations to everybody. And it is time now then to deliver some important Olympic programming notes for you. Save these dates. Let's start, of course, with the always magical opening ceremony. That is going to be on February the 6th. Then check out the dates for the first days of competition in your favorite sport. And that is a wrap on this week's edition, but tune in next Wednesday, January 28th on NBCSN for all the alpine, aerial and moguls news in part 2 of our Olympic preview. But from me, Cara Banks, and the whole Stifel Snow Show team, we say goodbye and we'll see you next week.